Dear friend, welcome again to 80 Lakewood Loop. My sister Nancy, the blonde on the cover of the Ronnie Pointing photo, I call her my identical twin. She calls this place 80 Lakewood Loopy. Well, so what? Everybody's got their opinion. Um, Welcome to part two of Ronnie's big secrets, a few of Ronnie's big secrets. Well, we got the medicine wheel here. We're on part number one, Ronnie's big secrets, a few, and we're about to launch into a piece called My Auntie Who Got the Mind Operation. I need to show you a graphic first, though, of a sacred lake from childhood. I'm sure hope you have in your memory a lake that maybe you visited or even lived on when you were a child that was holy to you, relaxing to you, a place you looked forward to. And I can remember trips from the farm to Big Spirit Lake where my sister and I would play a game where the first one who would see this glint of blue would win some sort of prize. I don't know what it is. We loved it there. We had a cottage called Black Sheep Cottage. Later one called Mo Jonah. It stood for Moore, Jones, and Noss, the three families that occupied it. Mo Jonah sounded like a whale to me. But at any rate, here is the sacred lake of my childhood. It's Big Spirit Lake, Iowa. If you were a crow, you would fly to northwest Iowa. Up here is the Minnesota border. I always thought that this looked like a bowl. In fact, up here is the Little Spirit Lake, that's in Minnesota. And the idea is that these winds would come down from Minnesota and whip this lake with these big North Shore tumblers. White froth on mossy stones that look like heads. Okay. Here's the town of Spirit Lake. McKinley Cantor wrote a book called The Spirit Lake Massacre, where Ink Paducah murdered some white settlers. He was disgruntled. Seems they had the nerve to perch on his property, without asking permission. The nerve of the guy. At any rate, there's a great museum there, etc. But let's get to the art piece here. My auntie, who got the mind operation. Anchor desk, hot silver cross pen in hand. Dear, I hope new friend, I am hot to tell you the true story about my Aunt Myrtle. The truth is, it's burning a hole in my belly, so I got to tell it to somebody who will really listen. We used to sit on the dock and watch Big Spirit Lake a-heavin' and a-sighin' from the north winds, and she'd say what was happening just beneath the shiny surface, stuff like seaweed wrapped around gars and snakes that wanted to pop up like life preservers, but couldn't. Then she'd talk about the sea voices, all telling her what a lovely lady she really was. The night Mama said it was proper to visit, Auntie invited me up past the dark, polished stairs of ungreat grandmother's part of her mansion, where there ain't nothing never out of place, to play hangman's noose. Auntie didn't look so good since she'd come back from that awful place they call Cherokee. She had on a mask, something like a raccoon wears, and that stare, real close to cat's eye marbles that don't roll normal, if you know what I mean. I could tell she was trying real hard to get back to her messy old self again. I couldn't believe it when she gave me the gift of her abalone shell from California, so I could press it to my ear anytime I like and listen to what's happening just beneath the windy surface. In the glow of her rainbow lamp, I cupped the shell up close and listened to the voices of the waves, big rolling tumblers swooshing free down the sandy coast. I saw the dreams the bubbling clams gave up before they hinged themselves tight to protect their pearls. In those deeps, I felt real close to that part of Auntie that never returned from the hospital with all the tall iron bars, each of which got spikes. Since listening to my shell gives me such a church song feeling, I wanted Mama to listen. She said I'd better mind my imagination or her grandmother would get me the same operation she'd ordered for my poor, forgetful auntie. So I keep this stuff pretty much to myself. It's just a stinking, rotten shame Auntie can't hear the sweet sea voices anymore. But I can still hear their ocean whispers, even without the gift of my auntie's sparkling abalone rainbow shell. Their voices make pictures inside my brain, which I try to copy down with my silver cross pen. When I do this, I feel like I is in bliss, like a boy who is getting a kiss from a lady who is miraculous. Sincerely, but sort of awed and scared, Ronnie Lee Noss. Thank you for listening.